How high are we going to pump in this bull market? I've got a very special episode here for you, friends. I made this chart a while back. This is the Bitcoin power law chart. Now, there's a few things to dissect here. I've made it nice and neat. What we're actually going to do is I'm going to show you the actual power law model itself. Now, don't worry about the mathematics and stuff out here, but apparently it's like very statistically sound. Now, just be careful. Do you remember the stock to flow model, friends? Remember the stock to flow model? I'll show it to you now. The stock to flow model is, I guess, supply only derivative model made by Plan Bitch. He's called that because he blocked me. Now, Plan Bitch made this model, and it basically, this is the one you see right now, friends. This is like the original one, which later became modified. And when you mean modify, we raised the price target up. So this is the original price chart and stock to flow model. And basically, it measures Bitcoin based off its flow of the ratio compared to like all of its coins available, what they call like the stock. Okay. Now, the line is fair value, and then the obviously the rainbow color is Bitcoin's price. In the first cycle, they hit like 10x above it. And then it went like, 5x, and it's like coming back down. Now, this one is our cycle. We basically got scammed, all right? So you might say, oh, but Tommy, you hit above it. No. Okay, the one you're seeing now, he stopped posting this well before the bull market was kicking on the way. The one he posted was a modified version out here, where basically instead of the number being, it's funny, man. You go back in time, the number says $40,000 here. See the orange line? That's BS. Back then it was $50,000, $52,000. So I don't know why it kind of like changes going down over time, but back then it didn't say 50. It said minimum 100 or 180. All right. But I think it was the maybe let's say it was 100. Okay. But you can see obviously the difference over time. We used to go super euphoric above it, come back down, euphoria, come back down. Euphoria, but they're getting smaller. And then this one was like, can you even call it euphoria? Straight truncated. You can see how, like, if this was like other cycles, we were meant to, if we weren't so scammed, we were meant to hit like 180,000 BTC. You just draw these visual waves. We were meant to, but why didn't we? Third cycle curse. It was Bitcoin's third cycle. So now it brings us to an interesting point. What about today, my friends? Well, crazy. The stock to flow, friends, I want to know why this number's lower. This stock to flow number, this used to say $500,000 and $550,000. For some reason, it only says 365 now. So I wonder if he's like modifying lower. I wonder. Or maybe his chart's different, but yeah. Charts, here we go. So with Plan Bitch, friends, it's about 360K. It's actually very achievable. It is achievable, right? If you hit 250K number and then you have a plus 50% burst, which you never know, could be just onset. It would be like last 2 or 3 months of the bull market stuff out here. All right, but then what happens next? Well, then the poopy part happens, and oh my gosh, the next one after that's 4.3 million. But yeah, we'll get to that when we get to that. Well, I doubt it, but we'll see. See how the numbers keep going down. Now, they have another model, right? Because this one just let everybody down. A lot of people got crushed. The one that everybody's now, this is the new stock to flow model. It's the power law model. And where everyone says this is 100% statistically significant, it can't break, whatever. And I'm like, oh, whenever I hear that, it just hurts me. It just hurts me. You sure you want to tell us your model can't break, bro? We'll see. So the Bitcoin power law model, it has been tracking nicely. Okay, goes up over time, as we all do. Have you ever noticed all these models are like, hey, I've got a model that says we're just going up forever. Yeah, but they do print money forever as well. That's another thing as well. Like, so we can talk about how funny that is. Yeah, everything goes up forever. But then you look at the money supply. This isn't even a model. This is the actual money supply. It's literally just been going up only for like 100 years. Okay, look at the log chart. Hey, beep, 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 beep. So that's what everything is derived from, which is hilarious itself. So if you notice, during the bear markets, friends, okay, during the bears and the bulls, we go above the green line. Okay, so we go above it, and then we come back towards the red, and then we go above it, and then towards the red, and then we go above it again, towards the red. Well, we actually just came and hit the red. We hit the red. It was about Bitcoin, like 15K here, right? You see this number? Now, you're probably curious. My friend Somi, I would like to see what the Power McLaw model says if we go into the future. So what I'll do, friends, is I'll show you like from 2028 to 2026. So what we're going to do is just have a look at this up until about 2029. Okay. So we are now like right on fair value, growing and growing. Now, obviously what comes next is it depends where the peak is. So look at these different events. You know, if Bitcoin peaked this year, look where fair value is, $117,000 right now. But look what happens to the fair value by the end of next year. It's not 117, it's 197,000. You see how that's growing over time? Now, it is just squiggly line stuff, okay? So just you learn from us, from stock to flow. I mean, by the way, most of you just here because we all got wrecked by stock to flow, right? So we now know, forget the price, bro, okay? We forget the price, and of course, it's tough, but we got to remove ourselves from the price, which means your portfolio number, yeah? We got to look at the signals of the market. Is Tai Lopez back grifting? Is there a $1 billion public ICO raise? Is the Coinbase App Store ranked #1? Yeah? Do we see the US government, do they ban themselves from owning stocks? Basically, all these exotic top signals, right? Euphoria. We're trying to look for stuff like this. Not bull market confidence. I mean, absolutely full-blown euphoria, okay? A lot of you are, I know because you got PTSD in the bear market. A lot of these signals we go up. A lot of you get nervous. You're like, man, so I mean, all of these are top signals. No. You got to remember, they're not top signals, my friends. Because we are in a 2.93 trillion crypto industry now. You are worried about these top signals, but they were here back the last time we were about 2.5 to 3 trillion. Okay, so we see these top signals that appear today, they appeared 4 years ago, and then they disappeared, and now they're back. But it's because we're at the same price level. So basically, as crypto goes, and hopefully to 5 trillion, 10 trillion, we will unlock different, what you call euphoria. It'll be the same human emotion. It'll just be represented differently. Like, for example, we might actually see a US politician get like a freaking Bitcoin logo on the tattooed. Do you know what I mean? Like, you might see something like that. Like one of these like esoteric, strange, exotic top signals I've always been dreaming about. Things like 2023. I always dreamed that somebody would, a couple would fornicate with themselves on webcam in euphoria because they just made so much money in crypto. Yeah, they're just like so into it, they just don't care. Just like something like fornicating. Now, then we ended up getting pump fun. So not token related. I mean like, you know, pretty much people breaking the boundaries because they're just so high on it. Crypto dopamine is like nothing anyone's ever seen before. It blows everything else out of the water. It actually blows physical drugs because physical drugs, you got neurotransmitters in your head. So you can take a lot of meth, right? You can take a lot of meth, but you just fry really hard. Yeah, your neurotransmitters just can't take it anymore, right? But the high we get from markets, this green candle, right? This beeswax, soy-free green candle. The high we get from that, it's like nothing's everyone's ever seen before because you don't get fried as much. Like it's like this like consistent, healthy staircase up that just keeps building up and up and up and up and up and up, and it's multiple days and weeks and months. Like you can't take a drug and get high for a month. You know what I mean? But with these candles, that's what they do. Like, we've seen it, man. That's why humans, we just let go of everything, right? That's what we just do. We do crazy things. Well, they look crazy, but like, you know, when someone's like, they put in like $8,000 and now it's worth $150,000 to them. They're like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Like you know, now they're like, oh, we can take a holiday. I'm going to buy that car. Oh, my rent is covered for 3 years, right? They have this ecstatic emotion.
Ooh, baby, do you know what that's worth? Ooh, hey.
Now, back to the power law. This is the Bitcoin price chart. So depending on where we top out, the numbers are going to be different, but we can come and play around with this one. Yeah, and the numbers, like they get, like, okay, let's actually refresh the page just so we can see. We're definitely not getting the top line. Let's just forget that, okay? See this top line? The top line is like some high standard deviation. If you want to get the top line, just to show you in our cycle, just I'll bring it out here for you again. My gosh, if you want to get that top line, it's $600,000 by the end of next year, 650. Now, I want to say never, don't be a negative Nancy, blah, blah, blah. Just, yeah, like, I'm just trying to help everyone, yeah? If we see Bitcoin at 330,000, just be careful, all right? Because the crowd will be saying $1 million is coming, and the stakes are very, very high at that point. Because if you're wrong, it's a long way down for altcoins. Goodbye another 3 to 4 years of your life, okay? So just try and help everybody. So when we're looking at this, maybe we do go somewhere in between, friends. Like if I show you this, maybe we do go, maybe not all the way up to that 500K, but maybe obviously we blow off through this 140K. Maybe it's somewhere in between. If you want to know this number, I think this is roughly, yeah, this is about 250K right here. 250 to 300K. Let's actually draw the number. Where would 400 be? And where would 200 be? Actually, I'll grab it exactly on the line. The top of the box is 400. The bottom is 200, okay? So this might be where we go. And if you notice here, this is 2027. So just in case we go extended, okay? So that might be what we're doing up here. We go beep, beep, beep. So we don't know how it's going to go up, but yeah, we might end up around here, which I would love. I would absolutely love. Also, friendly reminder, most KOLs, they want to sell early. They wanted to sell at the beginning of this year. And you already know, friends, I've told you all their names. But yeah, they want to sell Bitcoin at 150K already. So, like, what if they get trapped again and they only get to sell at 150K soon? What if they only get to sell at 130K, which they don't sell? Then we dunk under 100K again, go back down to 95 later on in the year, maybe, and then they actually cheat. And then it becomes like the full flexing of the believer cycle that continues up above. Also, something interesting here for you. What about the red line in the bear market? Well, so what I liked about this model is you can actually see how it can come back to the red line. And so here's the thing. If we are in extended cycle and we run to halfway of next year, then maybe, because remember, Bitcoin with the top, friends, it takes 12 months to make its bottom. Okay, from the top. Around 12 months, 12 to 14 months, but usually around 12 months. Like, if we peaked mid next year, June next year or May or whatever, and then you wait until May, because remember, it would actually be sell in May, go away. It would actually probably be, it might actually be that in 2027 May, where it's sell in May and then it's dead in June. And then June and July and August, it's like just rounding off, right? It might actually happen. If we go to the middle of May around here, look where the red line is, about 85K. Okay. Now, you might even look at that and go, Somi, that looks like pretty good for us. Yeah, good for us. Yeah, but if we're onboarding a lot of people, they're all going to get wrecked. Why? Because let's actually go to the Bitcoin price chart, which I'm going to show you now. If you go to the Bitcoin price chart, right, in the Tasty Toobs area, and the Tasty Toobs, friends, we might actually have to extend it. The Tasty Toobs, you might actually have to extend it, but we'll decide on that later. But if Bitcoin runs up to this, like, let's actually really does get to this 300K number. Remember, I've told you many times, I'm thinking about that moment where everyone says we are no longer going below a floor price. That's what we're waiting for. So right now, Bitcoin, 80, 90, 100K, like it's possible Bitcoin goes to 50, yeah? We don't want it to, but you're like, yeah, whatever. Like we're so despondent. We're so jaded. We're like, whatever. See what I mean? You know it's possible. You don't want it to, same as me. Now, if Bitcoin got to 200K, would people say we're never going to 100K again? I personally, I can't see that. If we got to 200, you're like, bro, I don't want Bitcoin to go below 100K. But it's very easy for it to just like squish back down to below 100. Okay? That's why I'm thinking in my mind, what price would we need to conquer for people to say we're never going below 100, dude? Literally forget it. We're never going back below 100. I think the number's 300. That's what I would see in my mind. A 300K Bitcoin, in my mind, would be like, you know what? We're never going below it. And you never know, man. You know the power law model, friends, which I've just shown up? Like, this power law model, like, okay, just because your red line stops here doesn't mean it have to. Like, you know, we can go up to this 300. And, you know, in the past cycle, Bitcoin dropped 77%. So if Bitcoin went up to actually 300K, which is right here, right? If Bitcoin goes to 300K, I just have a feeling, man. Actually, I've actually heard Raoul Pal. He said everybody expects it to drop the standard 75%, but we could just drop 50% and then continue the next bull market. I'm like, I don't think so, bro. I hope so, but I don't think so. I don't trust. No way I'm trusting crypto people not to cheat, bro. So if you go to 300K, if you drop 50%, it's about 150, which might be like that first trap. You know, this actually happened in 2017, right here. See, it came back down from Bitcoin 20K, comes back here, and it's like, oh, okay, cool, we've stabilized. All right, but what ends up happening is there's more death to come later, right? So that will be that first drop, and then obviously right, it comes back down, maybe actually towards 100. Maybe it comes back, it wicks towards 100K. Like, we wick towards this 100K zone and then come back, and I was like, oh, everything's fine. And then the actual killer comes. Now, what I'm just showing you this is, from here to like 100K is like 65%. In previous Bitcoin bear, it was 77% drop. So one thing that could trap everyone and surprise everyone is if Bitcoin actually drops the same amount. Well, this would be 70%. That's why I'm wondering, what if it drops 77%? Just drop the exact same number as before. So all I'm trying to show you is, even from this power law model, not to get too cute with it. Okay, because things, just because there's a squiggly line on the chart doesn't really mean anything. It is nice to see that it is following this trajectory though. The fair value, isn't this cool, friends? If you're buying in the next bear market, the fair value by the end of 2028 is a $340,000 BTC. That's pretty cool, right? So the Bitcoin power law model. So people are going to use these things to try predict, where everything's going to stop. Don't even bother. Literally don't even bother. A lot of these indicators, friends, is like this. There's going to be people that they get 50 out, and we're going to try check all of them, but it's not going to be what everyone thinks, man. Yeah, remember, friends, it's not about using that one indicator. There'll be periods of time people are really, really, really excited. Hopefully, your portfolios are pumping, and I'll be having to say to you, go, look, man, I don't think it's over right now, but in 12 months from now, there's 30% chance we're in a bear market in 12 months from now. Yeah, but we could still go up for the next 3 to 5 months. So it would kind of mean, hey, maybe get out 30% of your stuff and hold stable coins, right? Remember, this is a chart out here just gleaming over time. And I'll just give you one example of potential indicators that would appear. It's the blue nipple. Now, this chart, man, I hate this chart. I hate this chart so much. I want to choke this fluffy, sweet microphone, but I can't. You're just so fluffy and nice. I could never be mad to you. This blue nipple chart, if you guys remember this, friends, Ivan was covering it. BitBoy was covering it. Everyone was covering it because back then, you see this line up here. Let me show you very quick. You see where my green line is? This is euphoria. All right. You see how it turns blue? It turns blue here. It turns blue. It actually went up here, went up here, went up here. Okay, so when we're in this cycle, now we're in here, right? Now we're in here. The on-chain guys who showed the dust, I forgot what it was, what are they called? The cockchain guys, on-chain, whatever they're called, chain analysis, I forgot. GlassChode, is it GlassChode? They basically had this nice clean line, and they go, oh, see, whenever it goes to the blue part, it's euphoric, and that's when you should sell. Guess what happened last cycle? Never hit the blue line. Never turned blue. So that's why it's called the blue nipple. You never got the actual little blue nipple, which is just a little point up here. In the last cycle, it stayed under. And actually what they've done is they've been very naughty. You see this line here, friends? They've flunked something. This thing was lower. So basically, we just stayed in bullish optimism area the whole cycle. It never hit euphoric. Even at the top of the top of the top of the top. It never hit euphoria. And then it was all over. Okay, so as you can see, with the blue line, yeah, and then it was literally all over, went down. Now here we are right now. It's just one of these other indicators, right? So if it like cranked up again up here, just it's one of those indicators that people will be using. But I'm just showing you. This is the please remember this, man, because you can't trust these indicators, dude. You can't. Okay, you can't use like one. You got to use like 10. Or even 20, and you're like, oh, okay, a few ping. But also, friends, this is the tough part, man. Only the pi cycle top indicator predicted the top last cycle. Only 1 out of 20. So if you were using that system, you would have sold 5% of your portfolio. That's it. And you write everything else down. So there's no free lunch here. We're all in this together. Okay, it's tough. I just hope that others BTC chart and everything like cranks up. Yeah, man, I'm friends, I'll tell you, I really want to choke him out for that. I really want to choke him out, but this is what burnt me the most, actually. This is what burnt me the most. Like, I remember in like February or March of 2022, after everything was dog shit down, literally everything was wrecked, and like halfway to being wrecked, it was about to get real wrecked. The Bitcoin chode analysis guys come out and they go, prepare yourself for the bear market now. I was like, bro, what are you talking about? You literally were calling the bull the whole time. Now, after everything's down, you're saying, yeah, it's a bear market, it's a bear market. Oh, man, I'll never forget that. Oh, man. I remember that dude's voice. Oh, jeez. It was like already here. When it will hear, friends, it was like literally when it will like literally freaking hear. By the way, you're like, oh, that's still okay. No. Altcoins are already down 80%, bro. It was literally, you've lost everything. All right. And they're like, oh, they said, now we're getting ready to prepare for the bear market. Oh, man, I just want to freaking, friends. I want to unleash him, but I have to be a responsible adult. Okay. There are other people who need to be spooned first before we like worry about the past. We're not going to worry about the past anymore. But please remember that experience, what we went through. So because on-chain analysis, there's paying, they charge like $2,000 a month, something stupid for it. How much was it? Like $800 or $1,000 a month for like on-chain analysis. Crypto was using it. Every KOL was using it. They had like their personal super subscription. They're like, oh, because it worked every single time. The on-chain, they go, code is law, truth. I like the code. The on-chain analysis. Bullshit. All of it. Trash. On-chain did nothing. It's obfuscated. We learned the hard way. Huh? It's kind of crazy, huh? On-chain analysis all worked, but then everybody starts watching it. Doesn't work anymore. All right? So you now have seen, friends, from this power law stuff, that high big numbers, $600 to $1 million, maybe we don't hit it. Maybe we hit somewhere in the middle, 3 to 400K, and then we'll worry about that next bear market plus part as it comes. Remember, I've got more videos coming out, global macro equity, global liquidity cycle, the macro stuff, all these updates coming along. Let's see how we're going to go, though. Extended cycle, all these discussions, they're always going to be playing around, but ultimately, it's still the same game, right? We're waiting for euphoria. It's a believer cycle. Like, subscribe, catch you soon.